Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Joe Biden is already starting to act as the president, and in his first actions as said president, he's already burning the bridge that he was supposed to create. How many times did he say, we're gonna work with Republicans, I want to be a president for Democrats and Republicans? But what he meant was he wanted to work with Lindsey Graham and Mitt Romney and Mitch McConnell, selling out America and becoming the world police once again. He didn't mean work with Trump's base, he didn't mean work with America First patriots, and his words could not be more clear. He continues to slander, he continues to attack in partisan manner in some of the most despicable ways imaginable. The man who's calling for unity literally just called all of you white supremacists, Nazis, blah blah blah, you name it, and not indirectly, directly. And on top of that, he also called Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley and those who were fighting for transparency in the 2020 elections Nazis as well. Joe Biden never wanted unity. Joe Biden was never the moderate candidate trying to bring people together. He continues to fuel the fire and just make things worse, just like big tech is right now. It's an interesting concept considering the president's been actually trying to bring people together, fan the flames, reconcile, and unite, but you just can't do it when the whole system is against you. So I gotta show you exactly what Joe Biden said. We gotta contrast what Joe's saying in respect to what Trump's saying. We gotta call out the absolute hypocrisy, the total disingenuous nature of Joe Biden as a man who seemingly hasn't gone a day without lying for nearly 80 years, one of the most habitual chronic liars in political history, I have to say. And so we're going to get into all of it, but before we do, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. Now with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. So Joe Biden, of course, does a little press conference. The whole thing's controlled, it's all orchestrated. He's not getting challenged by any of these reporters. You know, I think about if I was a reporter of the office of the president-elect, what would I ask Joe Biden? I would say, hey Joe, what about your refusal to condemn violence? Isn't it a little bit rich that all of a sudden you're claiming to be the man of law and order and calling Americans domestic terrorists as you literally stayed silent for months on true domestic terrorism? But no, of course not. They lob him softball questions for him to just knock out of the park and make him seem as if he's the man of high character. He's the one with moral high ground. He's the one calling out Trump and his evil base after the actions of January 6th. The whole thing is orchestrated, folks. They ask him a question, of course, leading to a response, and Joe just takes it to a level that's just so absolutely unbelievable. Look at some of the things he said here.
What kind of an investigation needs to take place, and what steps need to take place to improve the security of the Capitol? And then secondly, how do you think the people who are involved in the storming of the Capitol, how should they be treated by your Justice Department? Should they be treated as domestic terrorists?
Yes, they should be treated as they're a bunch of thugs, insurrectionists, white supremacists, anti-Semites. These are a bunch of thugs, and they're terrorists, domestic terrorists.
I mean, talk about a generalization. Talk about taking an entire group of people and lumping them all up under one banner. 99.99% of the people who were in Washington on January 6th were just American-loving, freedom-loving patriots who wanted the truth. They wanted an audit, that's it. And the President of the United States, the alleged 46th President of the United States, just called all of them white supremacists. Think about that. Doubling down, saying they were domestic terrorists. This is the same guy who says there's a double standard for BLM and Antifa as opposed to right-wingers. This is Democrats trying to destroy you. This is Democrats trying to slander you, ruin whatever semblance of public image you had, and take full control over the Republic. They want to slander Republicans, conservatives, beyond recognition to those who aren't paying attention, to those who just eat this stuff up and follow the headlines that Google algorithms are shoving down their throat, and it goes beyond the people. Joe Biden, the exact same day, comparing Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley to Goebbels, who was the German propaganda minister in the 1940s under that one leader with the mustache. Check this out.
Do you think some of them should resign? Should Senator Cruz or Senator Hawley resign?
I think they should be just flat beaten the next time they run. I think the American public has a real good, clear look at who they are. They're part of the big lie. The big lie. I was being reminded by a friend of mine, and maybe you were with me, I can't recall, when we were told that, you know, Goebbels and the great lie, you keep repeating the lie, repeating the lie. People will know it's one thing for one man, one woman, to repeat the lie over and over and over again. By the way, Trump said that before he ran. If you say it enough, I'm going to convince you. I'll say it enough. The press is bad, the press is bad, the press is bad, the press is bad. If he's the only one saying it, that's one thing. But the acolytes that follow him, like Cruz and others, they are as responsible as he is.
Absolutely despicable. Wow, such unity that Joe Biden is calling for. You know, slowly I thought we were kind of moving away from that divisive politics, from the politics of the left just launching slanderous claims, every ism that you could possibly think of in the book at anyone who wears a red hat or who happens to think that taxes should be low and government should be small. But it seems as though they have an excuse, they have the headlines, they have the news cycle that they need to further push that exact talking point. It's been disingenuous from the start, it's been slanderous from the start, and it's been tactical and hyper-partisan since the start, and it's going forward, I guess, exactly as planned from the Democrat playbook. They don't win on economics, they don't win on policy, they don't win on actual results, they win on slander and they win on narratives. MSNBC's rule, Trump's ride or die base is a bunch of people wearing Nazi t-shirts. This is what politics boils down to in the modern day. Slander, name-calling, stereotypes, and generalizations. That's exactly what it is. The tolerant leftists accept no dissent from their liberal dogma. And you know what? Authoritarian leftists have the capability of doing it, and the purge has already begun. Republicans at the top of the target list. Republicans about to be hit under the greatest anti-American, anti-democratic, anti-constitutional hit purge of all time. It's already started. Federal prosecutor to consider charging Trump over Capitol Hill riot. You know, they've been daydreaming about actually prosecuting and going after the president after his time in office. Well, it looks like they might actually give themselves a little bit of an excuse this time, pretend as if they have some sort of reasoning, and considering how we know the two-tiered system of justice works when it comes to Democrats and Republicans, who knows what's going to happen here? Tech companies are getting involved. Apple threatens to remove Parler from its app store, of course, because Republicans, conservatives, aren't allowed to have a space where they can express their opinions. Antifa can have boards everywhere they want, they can dox as many people as possible with no regard, they can literally call for violence on a week-by-week basis, enact in that violence, which was scheduled and perpetrated by those who scheduled it. The FBI knows, law enforcement agencies know, and they face no repercussions. Republicans have a couple bad actors, one bad day, one day of optics, and the news cycle and the outrage mob becomes so incredibly powerful that it gives the authoritarian left an excuse to start purging. Breaking, Facebook deletes #walkaway campaign of 500,000 people as social media purge of conservative continues. Brandon Straka and the walkaway movement. I can't think of anything more benign to go after. And of course, this is going to further radicalize. It's going to make people more angry than ever before. It's not going to make them fall in place. It's going to create more revolt, and maybe that's what they want. Maybe they don't want peace. Maybe they want to create a subclass, and conservatives seem to be that target. I mean, what other results can you foresee from these events? Things are going to get worse, like I keep saying. I mean, what kind of world do we live in when the press, and ironically enough, the quote, free press, is literally urging to ban the president of the United States from Twitter? Donald Trump has a powerful megaphone on at Twitter. As long as the company is allowing Trump's account to remain, it's endangering its users. Tell Twitter to permanently ban him. And so things are getting out of hand, folks. When the left gets an inch, you know they take a mile. And on this one, it looks like they want to take 100 miles. They will not stop. They will attack in partisan rage. And right now, Republicans, conservatives are fractured. There's a bunch of different perspectives based on what happened on January 6th. Tim Pool is under attack from his viewer base, Anthony Brian Logan, myself, the conservative twins. A ton of us are receiving flack for merely giving our perspective, and it seems as though this disconnect and this turmoil that's happening within the conservative sphere is the exact opposite of what we need. There is an onslaught about to happen, a massive purge, and we need to remain united. The hardest days are ahead of us, and we gotta stick together if we're gonna stand a chance against the system. But that's what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. Now I gotta get back to work, folks. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.